Magento. Forrester came out with a report last week, and this was posted on our blog as well. And Forrester, the big analyst firm that puts out a yearly report on the state of, well, many things, including the state of e-commerce. And in their annual report, which they put out listing the global enterprise business-to-consumer platforms of 2009, they mentioned Magento as an emerging technology to watch. That's a big, big validation for us. In the same report, companies such as IBM, Hybris, very known here in the German market, ATG, Demandware, MarketLife from the United States, Microsoft. So there's obviously a push forward and a validation for us in the market that we're extremely proud of. Here you can see the growth in 2008. And obviously, except that little dip here in the end, which we all took a vacation. This is from Google Trends, and I urge you to run some trend reports on your own. It's a freely available tool. But you can see certainly the momentum and the growth in 2008. In the next slide, we've compared here three solutions. XD Commerce, which has been and perhaps still is a very popular solution in the German market. Just to give you a scale of what's been the momentum from our perspective at least. And this is coming from compete.com. Again, another freely available tool for those that want to take a deeper look into these stats. But as of today, obviously it's clear that Magento is taking the front and seat position in the open source e-commerce space. These graphs show it, and our numbers are consistent with it. And we'll talk in the next few slides about some metrics and some numbers that we could share with you about, again, some of the momentum and the traction of the product. So today we're just over 600,000 downloads. I think a more accurate number is actually about 625. This was compiled just a few days ago. And this is actually a conservative number by our standards. We don't count many things as a download because we lack some information in some cases. And we've chosen just not to count in some other cases. But this is nonetheless a conservative number. We don't count, for example, any upgrades. That's something that we've left out at the minute. We don't count any downloads that originate from our relationship with Parallels, the company behind the Plesk control panel. And Parallels has delivered Magento to over 1,000 hosting providers across the world, making Magento available to hundreds of thousands of domains via a one-click install. So all those downloads, all those installations are not really counted within our matrix here. The community. So Rico has been, where is he? There he is, back there. So Rico's been an inspiration for us. Guido here is our Dutch community manager. We've seen communities sprout up across the world. And it's truly just a testament to what the community has been for us. And it's been a wonderful force, something that we're extremely excited about. And we look forward to continuing to work with the Guidos of the world and the Ricos of the world to continue to push Magento forward. There's only 2 Guidos and Ricos, though, so it's going to be hard to duplicate that. Magento Connect extensions. There's over 400 Magento Connect extensions today. One of the first things that we wanted to do when we came to market was really come out in a way that provides a market for those developers that want to contribute extensions via open source licensing or develop extensions and sell those via commercial licensing. We don't separate the two. We feel that if a product is going to succeed in the market, there has to be economic incentives for players in order for it to become a main stable platform. So that's something that's been within our philosophy since day one. And that's something that I think has captured a lot of audience and a lot of attention as well. So we encourage and we tell the developers or the organizations behind Magento that if you want to contribute extensions, you can do it either via open source licensing or via commercial licensing. We don't take a position on that. And that's been very, very well received. Over 400 extensions. I know that there's some really interesting extensions in the works as well. This is going to be one of our most important avenues for Magento's push, certainly within each geographic markets, but even more so, push towards a wider adoption via extensions that will integrate Magento to third-party applications. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. I know that there's also a talk today, and correct me if I'm wrong, about Typo 3 integration, which is of big interest here in the German market. But we're seeing across the board integrations and extensions for Magento, which will make it easier to consume. 400,000 plus Magento Connect extension downloads. So this is obviously coming from the freely available extensions. We're not counting any commercial extensions at this point. And that's a very impressive number for us to share with you. Again, Magento Connect is a very strong part of our strategy. We've released the first version of it. We'll talk in just a few slides about what's coming from Magento Connect. We don't have a date for that, but it's coming. And we're obviously very excited to see such a wide adoption. I can tell you that Magento Connect is actually the leading part of our website. So more users browse Magento Connect than any other part of the magentocommerce.com website. And we're approaching about 5 million page views a month now. So there's quite a bit of traffic on the site, and most of it is looking at the extensions. If you're a developer and if you're a company that wants to tap into the Magento community, we very much encourage and would love to work with you on developing extensions for our product. 60 plus language translations. So again, just a very phenomenal number on our part. We're from the United States, so we typically speak one language. But the reality is that we've seen just a tremendous interest from organizations and companies that want to contribute, want to adapt Magento to the local audience. The global market for us has always been something at play, and we always understood very well that we wanted to create a product that could reach different audiences. Obviously, the multilingual, multi-currency, locales built in, that's something that we thought about since day one. And as we continue to push forward, in addition to the languages, we're also getting a tremendous amount of feedback about how businesses operate within each region. So Rico's done just an amazing job in making us understand what the specific issues are with the German market and what we need to do to address it. Same thing has happened to us in France as well. So we're getting a deeper understanding of how businesses work within each geography. And as Magento continues to push forward, we are doing our best to really make all the different regulations and taxation and other issues that may come up a part of our core. So here you see the market adoption. And as you see, the European market for us is quite impressive. This was taken a few weeks back, but nonetheless, I think this is very representative of what we see. And that's just a very strong interest in the European market. In the German market, we see an interesting picture as well. I'm not familiar with the regions or the areas, but I'm sure this is quite interesting for you. Nonetheless, the German market is actually one of our top markets. I believe it's from, at least from an analytics standpoint, it's number 2 or 3. But we see it as a very, very strong market, a market that we're going to be very involved in the next few years as well. Should I leave this up for a few seconds, or everybody's intrigued? I'll put these slides online later so you could check that out.